So Joe Hogan, is that his name?
Joe Hogan Rogan.
Joe Hogan is
Rogan.
number 4 podcaster in the country right now. Do you think we can become number 1?
Well, Joe Hogan's behind Joe Rogan.
Oh,
Did he drop to number 4?
yeah, he did.
Oh, I heard the Kelsey wife. You know what I'm talking about? The football player, Jason Kelsey. Well, you got Travis Kelsey, this with Taylor Swift, it's all the media rage. And then the brother,
Okay.
Jason Kelsey. I think his wife has a show that supposedly is now up at the top.
It's the battle of the Kelsey girls.
Interesting. Okay.
Taylor Swift is
Wow.
Well, as
that's
long
your-
as we
that's
become
your-
number 1, and we don't really care about the rest of everybody else who's been doing it for 20 years.
We could probably become pretty big pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you tell everybody on this podcast how to make $1 million. In the next 30
Well,
days.
Hold on, let me get out my...
Buta papio, creo.
da papia crioulo, sim.
Yeah.
Da papia crioulo.
This is like a coded language. There's no Google Translate for it.
There's no Google
I know,
Translate.
I know. Google does translate it, but we wouldn't repeat it on the show.
okay.
They do it.
I'll never forget. We had so much fun you using me as your little parrot when we used to go out.
I know. Those days were great. I mean, I remember them vividly. And the funny thing is I send you photos and videos all the time. Every time Google reminds me of how crazy we used to be, I try to share that with you as much as I can. I hope one day when you're in a nursing home, I get to go and show you the videos and photos that we took over the years and cheer you up. You were like, who's this?
I think you'll be emptying my bedpan.
I'll be doing what?
Emptying my bedpan.
Yeah, that's not nice. That's not nice. Sure.
You've introduced me in the worst ways possible.
This is supposed to be a clean,
It's
video.
real. We're doing it live.
Yes. Oh man, I remember one time. What's that kid's name? God, what's his name? That skinny. Like he probably weighed like 110 pounds.
Who used to work with
I
us?
don't know
Yeah.
anyone that weighs 100. Oh,
Kev.
Kevin.
Kevin, yes. You got so excited about something, and you carried him and like drop him to the floor.
Hey, Kevin.
And it must have been like 3:00 in the morning after we've gone to Boston. We went to a basement party or something, and you were dancing with like a whole bunch of wives and grandmothers and cousins and everybody else. And I'm like,
glad I'm not
Alex,
part of
give
this
them a
story."
break, man. Give them a little break, And then you got so worked up. It was such a great day. We were celebrating something, and you almost killed Kevin.
Yeah,
Poor Kevin.
That's South Park.
Yeah.
You killed Kevin. Yeah, we wrestled in
Yeah.
the street a little bit.
Yeah.
And he fell and he hit his head.
Oh, I don't think I was there.
No, you picked him up and dropped him. Well, it didn't fail.
I don't-
Yeah. The excitement was, I don't know, overloading.
Listen, one time Harrison pushed me through a wall.
Okay, I didn't witness that one, but I can witness you.
He's like, no, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it was
Like,
after.
attempt
Never
to
mind,
murder
we're not gonna go
Kevin.
there. No, there was a hole in the wall for like a couple of years.
Yeah.
Really? Which
Yeah.
property was this?
Quincy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because we were roommates.
that's why I had a hard time selling that place. It took me 2 weeks?
No, we actually, it took a little longer.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. I was surprised that it took a little while
Right.
to sell. Quincy had there's 100,000 people there.
Right.
And there was 8 multis on the market.
Right.
And it's still sat. But you know what killed us is we actually got the number we wanted, but the
What's that?
buyers financing, they actually had
Yeah.
some issues. And anytime you go under agreement
Right.
and then you come back up off of agreement,
Yeah.
everybody's like, oops, the house is going to fall over.
Yeah, there must have been some issues with the house. And
Yeah.
most of the time, it's not the house; it's the
Buyer.
person trying to buy the house.
Yeah, I felt so bad for them. They
Yeah.
wanted that house so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I drove by it yesterday
Okay.
or the other day.
Did it fall down yet?
Nope, it's
Oh, I'm
standing.
just kidding. Yeah,
Standing.
good,
And now they have that beautiful area for that ADU.
Oh yeah, that's true. What
Yeah.
about the American flag? Is it still there?
I don't think so. No, it wasn't.
Let's buy them. Let's buy them.
Garage for the
I
ADU?
used to have the American flag on the front pole.
Yeah. I mean, the 80. You
Oh yeah, the ADU for the garage.
Oh, just like with the allowance to do that now.
Right.
Because now it's a thing. Now everybody can do it.
Right.
You can furnish your basement, which made me think, because I remember a lot of buyers in Brockton really love basements with high ceilings.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. High basements are very desirable.
Why is that?
Future expansion potential.
Family moving in.
Yeah.
You know, I think when we sold 73 Winthrop Street, I went back
my
there.
God.
They wanted the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that. What if they didn't pull permit? Now the city of Brockton. Well, that wasn't Brockton. So
But that wasn't Brockton.
Yeah, it wasn't Brockton.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I went
yes.
back there like a week later, and they were like, they were like already working down there.
Well, listen, family dynamics have changed, and sometimes these older properties does not have adequate amount of rooms.
It's also harder to live in this state now.
Right.
It's
right.
very expensive.
They're extremely expensive. So
Real estate in Brockton has gotten
oh my God, yeah.
silly, dude.
I know. Well, real estate in everywhere has gotten silly.
Yes.
If you think about it. I don't think we've ever seen numbers like now ever in the history of the MLS, if you will.
I remember when we sold something on North Warren and we sold it for $540. We were insane. We thought that was insane, and then it sold for in the sevens 18 months later.
Well, now it's probably worth.
You were wrong. It sold
$9.
for $860,
Yeah.
not in the sevens.
And you listed it.
So I sold the property 3 times. Yeah.
Do I get a referral fee?
To us, and then for us, and then again.
to you guys, for you guys, and to somebody else. Yeah, from somebody else when they bought it.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah,
We got a quality renovation.
yeah.
Hey, cheers to your success.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys for helping out with
Kind of
it.
dinky, but
Yeah, he couldn't afford that water, guys.
That's
He had to go for the under $1 one.
Harrison's nickname. Dinky.
Are they?
I didn't say it was a nickname.
Is
I just
is
made a
this-
nice self-deprecating joke.
Wait till you hear the sponsor for today's episode.
Are they sponsoring this or no?
Oh yeah, Saratoga, absolutely.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
brought to you by Saratoga.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this a good time for our first ad read?
No, I'll have to do it at the
Okay.
commercial
Oh,
break.
okay, at the
We should do
commercial
it at
break.
the
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're still new. Hey.
Oopsie.
So,
And the person who sold it 2 years ago for $860 probably has a home that's worth over $1 million now.
really?
Thanks to a couple agents in Brockton who has surpassed $1 million price point.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a couple deals have sold for over $1 million bucks?
Yeah. I sold one about 2 weeks and a half ago for $1,031,000. Highest ever sold in the city of Brockton.
Three family?
3 family home.
When does this stop?
When the demand stops, I guess.
I guess.
Yeah.
This is why you buy real estate and you hold on to it.
That's right.
This is why you invest in multifamily real estate and you hold on to it.
Yeah.
Not investment
Well,
advice.
Multifamily.
Yeah, we are not disclaimers, grain of salt, talk to a professional, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, $1 million?
Yeah. $1,031,000. And the person bought it for $915 less than a year before. Less than a year. We sold it 11 months later.
I mean, good for them, but I don't know how this is sustainable.
I don't think it.
It's going to have to soften.
Yeah, something will, but that's the nature of sort of the boom and bust cycles
Right.
of real estate. And certain markets kind of hold on to their boom a little longer than others.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how or when it's ever going to go down because you have all these. How many train stops do you have here? 3 commuter
Yes,
rail stops?
I should know, but yes, 3.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4.
Right.
I think it's 3. But
I think it's 3 too.
you have all this development downtown,
Right.
and all these buildings that were vacant are no longer vacant.
Right.
And now they have apartments and more density.
Right.
And you have new construction going up around your commuter rail stops, and they're feeding the hospitals.
Right.
We have hospitals around here.
2 of them.
This Holyoke reminds me of Brockton 8 years ago
Okay.
because we have all these healthcare centers.
Yeah.
Adelino looks a little skeptical.
No, it's just not my market, so
No.
that's why I'm just gonna listen more than say anything.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
I've never been to Holyoke. So.
Yeah, it has. It's like it's got different benefits from like a location and accessibility perspective. But like
Right.
2.5 hours and you're in Manhattan.
Right.
So it's like
Right.
and 30 minutes you're in Hartford, 45 minutes you're in Hartford, 45 minutes you're in Worcester.
Right.
Springfield's a big community. It's
Right.
that's really starting to boom.
Yeah.
Very
But
nice.
I mean, we're still a ways off from anything on the eastern side of the state, but I mean, Section 8 rents are over 1,800 now.
For a 2-bedroom?
3-bed.
3 beds. Okay.
Yeah, they're like
Good.
14 or 15 for 2 beds now. And I mean, 4 years ago, we were at 12.
Do you know what's a 3-bedroom Section 8 rent as of January 2025
In Brockton?
in Brockton?
I'm gonna drum roll for approximately 2,700.
Oh my God, you're so off.
Was it 32?
3225.
Just kidding. I wanted to make sure you know.
We talked about this earlier. I was going to spoil it.
Yeah. They just released it and didn't go up much from last year. But yeah, I think last year was 31 something. But yeah, we're starting to look better than Dorchester and Roxbury.
Totally. And it's starting to beat the market rent
Right,
too.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
And there's a demand.
Right. Oh, huge.
Everyone's on a wait list.
I get calls every single day for somebody looking for 1, 2 to 3 bedroom. Every
Section
day.
8. I've had a
And it's not just Section 8, it's everybody.
yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. We definitely have no problem getting applicants
Right.
when we list an apartment. It's just about sifting through them to find
Right.
what
Find
type
the
of tenant,
right fit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's important. It's almost like the idea of firing fast and hire slow. I mean, you want to slowly choose the right tenant. Sometimes people tend to say, hey, it's the end of the month. I need to get somebody in there as soon as possible. And I think that's when you make a mistake.
Been there.
Yeah.
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 I've been leasing our apartments for pushing a year maybe.
I love you for it.
I actually don't mind.
Yeah.
But I don't know, 10 to 12 tenants or more that have come in that span.
Right.
The only the 2 that were more rushed.
Right.
That felt like I was like, okay, everything checks out real quickly. I didn't put them through the ringer.
Right.
And I put people through the ringer on purpose.
Okay.
Because you want people that are going to elevate sort of the quality of life.
Should try to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, in a nice way.
Yeah.
In a nice way.
This guy. Come on.
But the 2 that were moved more expedited, if you will, have been the 2 that are now okay, I'm frustrated.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's all right.
I have a friend who his model about selecting tenants is the following. He'll meet with them and he'll say, hey, here's the application. I need your last 12 months of canceled check. And for your rental payment, right? The history of payment. If they come back with the last 12 months and they all been within, earlier than the 10th of the month, they get in. And if they don't come back or if that history is not good, he just doesn't rent it to them.
It's a good idea.
He doesn't care about anything else. He goes, people figure out if they were somewhere else in the last 12 consecutive months, they were able to religiously pay their rent, and they're now moving to my property because they're not paying rent somewhere else. And they can prove it to me, right? Screenshots or printouts from a bank or cancel check or whatever the case may be, then they're fine. I move them right in.
That's a smart idea. I mean, not that we want to, buying things with people in place is really challenging. Comes with new sets of headaches. But if you are buying an apartment or a small apartment building, going direct to the bank statements or for validation of deposits.
From the seller, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the inverse.
Right. That's true.
It's kind of the inverse.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
Huh.
Yeah. Tenant estoppels don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, tenant estoppels don't do it.
Oh, yeah.
Half of them don't even know what an estoppel is.
Yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't know what it was if
Right.
I was just, if I wasn't in the industry.
And double check your lead certs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call the company.
Well, a lot of them don't have it.
No, it's just that all offices that are their document, they just lose things.
Yeah.
They just lose things. It's weird. It's weird how many permits in Boston have been lost. It's weird how many permits in other communities are just lost.
Sometimes they change systems too, and they just don't want to
Totally.
go back to like the garage that they haven't gone through for years. Yeah.
So what's new?
But yeah, I mean, listen, we're in a very tenant-friendly state, so anyone trying to fill a vacancy needs to really be very careful and do their homework, because once they're in,
Yeah, it's hard to remove if you have to
remove them.
Much
Yeah.
better off waiting another month or two.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I had a property in Boston that I waited 3 months, and the guy who did all the renovations lived on the first floor, so he was opening doors and giving everybody applications. So he went to the point and was like, listen, are you not renting this place? Like, I was like, listen, I'm giving them applications. Some of the applications are incomplete. Some of them are not coming back because they're afraid of submitting a complete application, which I don't know why. But obviously, somebody who doesn't want to do an application sometimes may have something to hide. And eventually, there was someone that fits all the box and did exactly what I asked. And it's somebody that I knew. And I called them and said, yeah, go ahead and give him the keys. And he was surprised, like, finally. And the guy's been there for almost 3 years now. One of the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah, it's amazing when you give like your example of your guy wanting. I'm asking you for 12 months of proof of payment.
Right.
And we have some similar processes in our application process. You ask them to do a few specific things.
Right.
Or if you're hiring a candidate for a role, ask them to do a few specific things.
Right.
And your best candidates are going to be the ones who just do it.
Right.
They're
of course.
Of
course, because and you can tell that they'll become easier to manage over time too, because if they can follow simple instructions like filling out the complete application, giving you copies of IDs and pay stubs and references and all of that, that's an indication of some sort.
My heart goes out to the people that are afraid to do them completely, though. That are like, if I do this, I'm going to expose something, and it's yada yada, and is it going to deteriorate my? It's like if you've been struggling with credit, and you're like, we have to really do another credit pull.
I know
what I'm telling you. What's the? Have you heard of the guarantors?
Yeah, like a company or a person guaranteeing.
No, it's for renters.
Oh yes, I have like a rental insurance. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's for people that are kind of like on the edge,
right?
Or maybe like questionably, for getting approved. Supposedly they have a 93% success rate on default.
Okay.
So they have their own AI driven thing, right? Because they don't want to pay out claims, obviously.
Right.
But
they have those for like secure deposit too or something.
Yeah. So if you're willing to work with the guarantors, you can actually get people in for less than the first, last, and security.
Right.
And as a landlord, they can get in with less money out of their pocket, and you can actually. This is not sponsored by the guarantors, but they can actually get like a full year of coverage.
Hey, maybe they can buy us lunch though.
They might be able to buy us lunch.
We're open to sponsorships.
Yeah,
we are open to sponsorships and Chipotle
from anybody, right? Buy me coffee,
How is it with JJ's no longer here?
Oh man, I mean, listen, it's been hard.
Yeah,
it's been very hard.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, sure. JJ's used to be, God, I used to go to JJ's at least 3 times a week.
Totally,
and it was all free for me, which made it easier.
This is Adelino's shtick, where he says that he's poor and that everybody has to pay for his lunch, but he's actually the richest man in Brockton, and he buys everybody breakfast. You're
messing up this podcast because it was going to be an honest conversation. So I used to go there all the time.
You're the king of Brockton.
I know I'm not.
Nobody doesn't want to not work with the king of Brockton.
I'm not the king of anything. Let's keep this serious, man. Come on. JJ's used to be the talk of town. JJ's used to be one of the top 200 breakfast joint in America.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah, they had some national recognition in like magazines or something like that. Yeah.
That hash explosion.
Yeah.
Put you in a coma.
Yeah. Yeah. They had the Hangover Benedict.
Yeah.
I think that was
God.
It was the one with like the gravy.
That was like a 32-ounce piece of steak. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you still close with the family?
Yeah, we're friends. I went to school with Nelson He was the president of the class.
Yeah. He was smart. He went to school for hospitality.
He strikes me as a president.
He's still smart.
He's sorry.
Yeah. Now I go to Yas Table in Abington. You guys could take me right after this.
Oh, really?
Really good. Yeah.
We're actually, maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
We're going to go see, we're seeing Ronald too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, is he coming to the office?
He's got a deal in Needham. He's going to show us after.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. What are you doing for the rest of the day?
I mean, listen, if it involves anything for free, I'm available.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. We'll have Ronald pay for it.
Oh, man.
Well, congratulations on your continued success.
Oh, thank you.
Your office, the renovation's beautiful.
Thank you.
Your home looks like this home office building is really nice now.
Thank you.
It was always filled with love, but now it looks rich and still filled with love.
Is this an office that Alex could come work at?
No.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Still not.
He's not tall enough.
Because that HR thing.
No HR anything. Stop it. We only hire super good looking folks. And
is that why you fired Alex?
Yeah.
I'm letting him.
Just kidding. He went to EXP.
I'm letting you.
Oh yeah.
I still work here.
Exactly.
My license is.
Yeah, he's.
Well, I
expired.
just did my continuing.
Oh
it
wow!
expired.
Look at you, man. That's amazing.
It had expired.
You actually passed the continuing education program. 8 hours of.
Yeah, with our boy Charlie.
Oh wow! Yeah, Charlie is
awesome.
Amazing. Oh my God, I just love Charlie. I hope that he never dies. And is that okay to say or no? Charlie is just a resource that you just want to have in your corner. Man.
He knows everybody.
No, I mean he knows everything.
Yeah, he's really smart.
He talks about the business like he's like 80 years old and been doing this his entire life, but I feel like it looks like he's always been the same age and the same person. Yeah. It's like he was never younger or older.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was never less experienced.
I don't know. Was he in his 50s or something? I don't know.
But I think he's about 21 years old. But listen, he's just brilliant. He's
really smart.
And he's very kind, and he'll answer your call, which is rare.
Yeah.
You'll call
his
him.
phone goes off non-stop.
Yeah.
He must have received 8 calls during
Charlie,
the first 3 hours of our class.
Right. If I was Charlie, I'd get one of those 1-800 numbers that if you call it, it's like $10 a minute. He'll become multimillionaire.
Yeah. Or I thought you were going to go with an answering service.
You were going to go with a great idea.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, think about it. Yeah, I mean, if you need Charlie, you're going to call him, and
so
you wouldn't mind paying for it.
How do you handle? Because you've always been a popular person, and I remember when we were just getting started.
Right.
Everybody would hit you up, and I was so jealous.
Annoyed too.
Well, I was annoyed because I was annoyed because of
the amount of time
batching
to try to get my attention for anything, right?
Yeah, and let's not forget how we met. I sold you a sweetheart of a deal.
I know.
Okay?
I stole that building from you,
and I felt really good about it at the time.
I mean, listen. At the time, I think I overpaid.
No, at the time you paid the appropriate amount, and we built a beautiful friendship.
We did, yeah. That's worth.
We got that 2-family under agreement for $152,000, and we sold it to you for $170,000.
I thought it was $179,000, but okay.
No, we made $18,000.
Oh, okay.
And I thought like we were jacked up, and then you had that thing appraising for in the threes inside.
Yeah, it was
inside 6 months.
Right. Yeah.
Also, what was that other one near Nicholson that one of we won't mention his name. He also worked here. He wanted to buy the house for like 115, and we can only get it for 132. Somebody else bought it and sold that thing for $340,000 in 9 months, 6 months.
Near Nicholson?
Nicholson? I don't recall.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was about a minute away. It was a split level.
What about
with garage parking?
The only Nicholson I remember is the one you guys flipped, the burned one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, this was a wholesale deal that we did near it.
Oh yeah, like in front of it or something.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's coming back.
Yeah.
We had it under agreement and we wholesaled it.
Hold on, producer's giving us 3 fingers.
3 minutes.
3 minutes, and then we have to go to a commercial
What about
break.
the deal where I got it for someone from you guys for $60,000, and he turned around and sold it for $220,000? That was, at the time, it was huge.
That was a single family we put under agreement for $62,000.
Right. Yeah.
And we had it under agreement with somebody else, and they signed the P&S, and then they disappeared.
Right.
We actually ended up chasing them legally. And then, but after that one dissolved, then somebody else came in from you, and I think we made a couple bucks on that one too.
Yeah.
We knew that one would value around 220.
Right. So it was a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. The investor turned into 2 bathrooms and 3-bedroom, and it sold for $220,000.
Yeah.
And we were hoping it would sell for like $160,000 or something.
Right. It was like an area that we were.
The area was questionable.
Yes.
And the lot was small too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was on a corner.
Right.
So a lot of traffic.
Right. Yeah, it was a crappy property, but it
was
worked out for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And today that property's probably worth $450,000.
This is why you buy real estate.
I know.
And you hold on to it.
And it's only like what, good 5-6 years, right?
Yeah.
It's really
more like close to 9, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
March is our 9-year anniversary of buying our first.
Okay.
Our first
Right.
project.
Yeah. So it's
March
been
17th.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah.
I still don't remember the buildings you guys were talking about.
Well,
Which
I
one?
don't know. I also go by like I remember like addresses and numbers and like associations.
Right.
But, apparently these associations, I don't know.
they're on the old whiteboard.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think probably one of the best deal, if you guys had kept it, would have been the Warren Ave, which was 3 properties.
Yeah, it was a
great deal.
And you got it for under $600,000.
I think it was $680 for all 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Today, today it would have been over $2 million.
Yeah,
And this is a great time for a commercial break, so I know. Throw up.
I know. We'll come back to it. Stay tuned.
And we're back, and Harrison has a special word from our sponsor.
From our sponsor. First sponsor of the pod. Can you believe it?
No.
Someone is paying me to read this.
You missed the second one. The first one was Preparation H.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't present for that one.
Yeah, but it was in honor. Never mind.
Okay.
No one's paying me to read this. Brick Buddy, the sponsorship brick service. Ever feel like your life is missing something? Maybe a brick. With Brick Buddy, get a fresh, handcrafted brick delivered to your door every month. Use it as a paperweight, doorstop, or just admire its brickiness. Subscribe today. Get your first brick for free. Just pay $99.99 for shipping. Thank you, Brick Buddy, for sponsoring the Wallison REI.
I'll take one right now.
Yeah,
Where do I go?
Well, we got the we'll put the link in the chat, and we got our first commitment.
Awesome. Yes, I will buy one.
If this turns into we have to ship 100 bricks.
I know.
Which there's great merch potential.
I can pick it up and deliver it for a small fee.
Good. Can we use the Mercedes as the transportation vehicle?
Yeah, Mercedes, I never see you in it anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I never really see you that much anymore.
That's true.
Do you still?
You're always having someone drive you around now.
Let's keep this serious. Yeah, it's at home right now. Yeah, you guys could see it. We can go to. Is it Hingham or Dedham? We can go to Dedham in it if you guys want.
This is the King of Brockton, everybody.
Oh my God! Stop! Just stop.
I remember you let me drive that spaceship. It was awesome.
No, I didn't let you drive it. Didn't you keep it? You kept the Mercedes for 3 weeks while I travel outside of the country.
The black one.
The black one.
Yeah,
No,
not
it
the
was-
white one.
You had a new one, didn't you?
No, I do
Yeah,
have
he's got
one,
the white
newer
one. That's the spaceship.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the white
did.
one.
I
don't
liked the
remember
black
it.
because it was a big body Benz. I like to listen to Biggie
black,
Smalls.
It was charcoal.
No, it was black. I like to listen to
it was,
big.
it was black at night, but during the day it was charcoal.
No, it wasn't.
The title of the auto was charcoal. It says charcoal on it.
I think you're incriminating yourself right now.
Oh man, yeah, you had a good time with that.
I'm just kidding. No, it was a beautiful vehicle.
It was nice being picked up at the airport
Yeah, totally.
by you.
Totally.
Yeah.
I
felt like I achieved something.
I bet.
By having such a smart, highly educated, handsome guy.
What else?
Picked me up at the airport.
As your driver?
Well, he wasn't my driver. He was a friend. He was a friend.
The way this dude has introduced me to strangers.
You stop.
You're trying to be so professional on this podcast.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Yeah, and you brought it back in one piece, which we're surprised.
Did you scratch the rim or something?
No, I'm sure he did.
No.
He said I left it like that. He was like a typical tenant.
Stop it.
You know, your typical tenant. You have photos and videos of the apartment, and then when they move out a year later, they're like, oh no, this broken window was like that.
I dinged my first car.
Hey, do you have your Camaro still or no?
No, I sold it to Amadeus.
Oh, did you?
He still has it. He never transferred the deed. It's still technically in my name. I actually want to buy it back.
You need to not.
You're still responsible for the excise tax on that.
Not just that, accident, lawsuits, everything.
All right, well, I'm going to follow up on Amadeus.
Are you kidding me, man?
If you're watching this, let's talk about.
Let's talk about Scarlett. To cancel the plate.
It is canceled.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unregistered, but it's just the state still thinks it's mine.
Oh my God!
I sold it to him with a broken motor. It died. You know. She quit on me.
Can you remove your name from the title of the vehicle without the second party?
I don't. Apparently not.
No. Because normally if you do a private sale, you go
they have to.
You sign the deed together or the title together, and then you go.
I want to buy it back. I want to put Wallace in on the side. And I want to turn it into a Pacer car.
That would probably be one of the worst investment you've ever done if you buy that car back after sitting for a year.
Yeah, it needs a new motor.
First of all, her name's Scarlett. Don't talk about her like that. And we need to circle back to me dinging your rim because that never happened. I also
used to enjoy when your broken door didn't work and you had to get out and open the door for me.
Oh yeah, broke. Yeah. Well, there was that was also partially out of. It was just they were like, you need to buy this entire thing, and it was so expensive. I'm like, I'll just open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, because who doesn't love to have their door open from the outside? So it's just elevated. Yeah, turn me into a gentleman.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's true.
Good point.
You know, I almost.
So you sold a lemon to.
I didn't sell
another person.
I didn't. It had 220,000 miles. She quit. Okay, he knew he was
broken engine and a broken door.
Broken engine
and a broken heart.
Mine has not recovered fully. You're right.
Yeah. So sounds like I need to connect Amadeus to a lemon lot professor or attorney or something.
You do that. You go ahead and do that. You know, I almost
he can
got
get all his money back, money for lunch for me, and I don't know, legal fees.
Let the record show I'm being extorted.
And you want it back because you didn't put it under his name? Interesting. That's extortion.
You know, I almost got creamed.
Just report it stolen.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll just go pick it up. And then you'll report that you found the location.
Yeah, it's. I'd like to report my car stolen. I do know where it is.
I miss Amadeus.
Yeah,
I miss some of the. I'm happy we moved. I think we made the right decision. But there's lots of Eastern Mass was home for the first 7 years.
I don't miss the traffic.
No, I don't miss the traffic. That part sucked.
Brutal.
Still sucks.
Yeah.
It's funny when people in Western Mass talk about traffic
or
and they
like
complain.
Anywhere.
And they're like, the traffic's so bad. And I'm like, lady, this is 10 minutes.
Wow.
This is nothing.
Wow.
It took 3 hours to get from Chelsea to Quincy.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I almost, while driving your charcoal gray Mercedes, I almost got creamed. Somebody ran a stop sign, almost obliterated me in East Boston.
Oh, maybe that's what I was remembering. I just somehow attributed it to your fault.
No, you owe me.
No, it was
and more minor.
It was hairy. It was scary.
You owe me a new set of rims.
Is that what it is?
I mean, he said you scratched it. You told me it was like that.
I'm gonna get some cool spinners and I'm gonna put them on layaway.
I low key miss spinners.
I'm gonna put them on your car.
OEM only.
I'm gonna put them on your car.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna default on the payments. And you have to come pick up the rest of your car.
Wait, do they still make spinners?
Yeah.
I don't want to forget. I don't want to miss this.
Of course
topic.
they do.
I don't.
Of course they do.
I just envision like an O2 blacked out Tahoe with chrome spinners. I don't know, from all the hip hop videos.
That still sounds cool.
That's how I know I would totally drive
It
it.
still sounds cool. I saw a Bentley yesterday with spinners on it. I'm like,
Really?
no, I want that.
They put spinners on a Bentley?
Yep. And it was cool. I mean, whatever. Do what you like.
Yeah, no,
Do
I
what
know.
you like.
I'm between hating it and loving it. That's
Yeah.
why that's my cringe.
Honestly, life's too short to hate.
Bentley is probably going to send a cease and desist letter now.
Oh, assistance.
to the owner
Season
owner for putting spinners on it.
No, they're
This
gonna
is actually illegal.
they're gonna send a letter and they're like pronounce
Please sell it now. Return it to us.
ceased and desist.
Oh, ceased and desist. Okay.
It's okay. It's a fourth language. It's pretty good for a fourth language.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. How many do you speak?
None of your business. I speak. I speak Portuguese, Cape Verdean Creole.
You hang with Spanish.
And I mean, I won't die if I have to speak Spanish, especially if I need food. And I speak a little bit of English.
Oh, I kind of was like throwing four at the wall, but I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
I used to speak French fluently, but I've been in U.S. for 26 years, and
There's the fifth.
I haven't practiced or use it forever. So
Comment ça va?
now, I mean, I could read it and understand it, but not really speak it anymore.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, et toi?
Okay, good
that
enough
French?
for me.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Look. Yeah, I said, how you doing?
Oh,
I took-
used to feel more cultured. Now I feel like such a grumpy, like uncultured person.
It's okay. It's easy to happen. It's easy to happen.
Comes
It
with
really-
age. I mean, I used to
Age
be
and
so-
routine, I think.
Right.
Age and routine.
I took 5 years of French in school, and I used to be so annoying speaking French. Like I used to literally bully people in French. I was that kid that.
That's because you were always taller and bigger.
My composure. Let's just keep it calm.
This is when we need multiple cameras so we can just like
This is
a
a moment of reflecting and nothing to do
fun
with me.
off camera.
It's who he is. It's not me.
It's definitely not you.
Yeah, thank you. So I
This is a great time for our next sponsor.
let's
Sleepy Time Coffee, the only coffee with melatonin. Tired of being awake, but also tired of being tired. Introducing Sleepy Time Coffee, the first coffee infused with 20 milligrams of melatonin. Wake up, sit, and drift right back into dreamland. It's like productivity, but in reverse.
Are you
Get your Sleepy Time Coffee,
Are you
10%
seriously
off.
getting paid to do this?
No, these are fake ad reads. These aren't real companies. See, it works. Look, it passed the Turing test. Well, it's not exactly a Turing test, but you know what I mean.
You know,
I mean, we need to have a conversation. If we're getting paid,
But isn't that kind of funny? Like
need to
have
be compensated.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get royalties
ad
from
reads,
you.
but like not real companies. It's like
yeah, because it
dropping,
adds
like-
credibility to it.
yeah,
well, yeah. I mean,
and it
for all new
funny.
business that you get from this podcast, we're gonna come for it.
Yeah, that's fine. So yes, I took French for 5 years. I was so annoying. I was just annoying. So my cousin and I took French for 5 years. So we would speak French with each other. We would be in the bus, whatever, just speaking a completely total different language. And people just were so annoyed by it. And now I don't think we could have a conversation in French anymore. But it was super annoying. Yeah.
to others.
To others.
It was fun for you.
Oh yeah. Oh, very much fun.
I think it would come back.
No.
Yeah. Have you gone to Canada lately?
Never been to Canada.
Really?
No.
Do you ever want to go?
Yeah, I'd love to. Huh. They're our neighbor.
Yeah, I'm aware. Why haven't you ever gone to Canada?
I don't know. I always think about it, never really make it a priority, I guess.
It's like not even that far.
No.
Like,
Which I always forget.
like 4 hours?
Yeah, it's like 4
Yeah.
hours to maybe 5 to
And,
Montreal.
and you can go on a plane too for like what, an hour and a half or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When are you going to get a plane? I feel like you're almost there.
God. Come on, let's be serious. Let's just focus on real content.
Have you looked up how much planes cost?
I mean, I'm sure you can get one for free.
Not as much. Oh yeah, you probably could.
Might not be flying worthy, but
Yeah, you can. They're relatively attainable. I mean, you have a certain level of success, but they're relatively attainable.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're successful enough that you know this and you're looking into it.
I mean,
it's more like manifestation.
And I would greatly benefit from you guys owning an airplane.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Good. Well, listen, I've always
I think
said
the King Air 360 is going to be my first turboprop.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've always said that you two, one day I know that I'm going to have to set up appointments in order to talk to you or meet with you.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprising if you say, hey, listen, I'll be at Logan Airport for an hour. Get here now. Or if you want to go to Canada, you can come with us.
I hope that happens soon. I think the King Air is good because it could get me down to like South Carolina for refuel, and then you can go, be on there. But 100%.
There's actually some really strategic ways to get into a mid, like you thinking about private jet, like $10-20 million private jet, and that's what like having your own plane means. But it really doesn't have to be that at all. You can like go in with partners and something more modest. Think about how many times, like how often do you really need to use it?
Yeah.
If you're going to be flying 3 times a week and you're like super wealthy, sure, it makes sense.
CEO of Starbucks.
A private jet.
Right.
And you're getting a Gulfstream because you need to get to Italy in one stop.
Right. But if you're flying like once or twice a month, you have like some shared people in your area that could go in on it with you. Or they have like these like country club type memberships where you can pay to be part of a club to have access for a jet at any time. Right. There's some ways to do it that aren't as expensive as like owning a plane.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's still, I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah. If you've looked up they call them light jets. That's like 5-6 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they don't, their biggest, drawback is, like you can't pack like skis and snowboarding.
The best part is not having to go through security.
Yeah.
I need at least a plane that can carry 100 because I have a lot of cousins.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Right. There's no lies there.
No light jets for me.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm not buying jets. But it's an honor to be in the room where.
Would you go in on one with us if we decide to get one?
No.
All right. But you would now, okay, that's fine. We have an official no for the jet. But back in the day, we talked about yachts. Are you still in for a yacht?
Yes.
Or have you outgrown that?
I would certainly do.
Well, you want something you're going to use.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't really fly that
I don't
much.
fly enough. And
I would go to Cape Verde. We should go straight to the Gulf Stream.
I can't even begin to think that getting a jet is something that I can do.
Yeah, no, you need to.
Financially, I don't think. But a yacht, absolutely, because it'd be an hour away from where I live, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and you could use it often over the summer.
What would you name the boat?
It's a good question.
Have you ever thought about that?
Scarlet.
The Jenny.
What is it?
The Jenny.
Continue the legacy of your Camaro.
Yeah.
That you're gonna repossess.
Yeah. I have a Mustang now. Her name's Bella.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Both door handles work.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Where do you get the name Bella?
I don't know. I just thought it was cool.
Oh.
Just means beautiful.
I've also never had a car that I'd want to name.
Really?
No.
Nothing?
I'm not really.
Did you name your beautiful Benz? The white one?
No.
Huh. I don't know. It's a car guy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gone in 60 Seconds. You guys ever see that?
Yeah. Great movie. Probably Nicolas Cage's best movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not doing anything anymore, huh?
Certainly not anything good.
Doesn't need to. He's boosting all those cars.
Yeah.
And super rich.
Yeah.
Actually, for a while there, he was like doing anything that would pay him. Like Knight Rider or whatever that movie was.
Right.
And there's some other ones, but that's the one that comes to mind.
Right.
I wonder who's going to be our first really famous person on the podcast.
It's a good question.
Next to Adelino.
You think we'll become famous before there's a famous guest, or there'll be a famous guest before we become
There'll
famous?
be a lot of famous guests before you guys. Oh, I'm just kidding.
No, I think you're right. I think they'll pull us up, but it'll be like catching on to them.
Yeah.
We'll say something.
Let's get the School of Greatness founder to come to your podcast.
Who's that?
Wow. I can't think of his name, but he's incredible.
What's School of Greatness?
You gonna look it up?
Yeah.
Cool.
This is why this is here.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like to have the phone. I want to be connected.
YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube.
Oh,
yeah.
Lewis Howes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this guy.
Yeah,
I've heard of him.
We'll tag him in the clip.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be.
Yeah, I've heard
great.
really good stuff in there.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like a number of people have recommended. Like,
Right.
I think he's got a couple books, got a show. Yeah, but I haven't like dove into his content.
Do you read books? I mean, I know you're learning how to read, but
Yeah, I do. Why?
I want to start a book club.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Virtually or in person?
I mean, I think in person when possible would be cool, but I think it would also be cool for anybody who's maybe listening or watching that wants to join and we do a virtual book club. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, when do you want to start that? I'm in the middle of like 6
Vanya
books.
has one here in this office.
Let's start in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vanya has a book club.
with my reading.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Me
Vanya
too.
has a book club in this office every Thursday or every other Thursday.
Really?
Yeah,
They
with a
read
couple
romance
folks that are
novels.
agents and non-agents.
Is it like business or romantic, like rom-com or?
I don't know. I usually just say hello and mind my own bizwhack.
I'm not even opposed to having some, fiction book stuff in the book club, like whatever for entertainment.
Right.
I think you can. What is it like? Everyone read the same book, or is it everyone read their own book?
No, I'm sure
and
it's
you-
everyone's reading the same book.
I think it's ultimately better that way.
Right.
That way everyone can talk
You can
on
have
the
discussion,
same thing.
right? And your perspective and stuff.
But I think if you want to do one where everybody has a different book, then you just do 2 book clubs. And now each person's presenting on their topic what they learned about.
Right.
But if you're doing one where like, hey, I want to read about Fabio or whatever, like we all need to be on the same page.
Right. No, I gotcha. It's I prefer the other one where you're all kind of coming to the table with your a presentation or like a discussion about what you were reading.
Yeah.
But generally kind of like if it's a business book club, right? You're kind of reading like business or leadership books. You're not reading, one person's not reading Good to Great and the other person's reading like a romance novel. I mean, you can have fiction, like The Alchemist or something is like a good fiction book that has a lot of lessons in it.
Right.
Yeah. You want to do a book club?
Sure.
We'll look for we'll take suggestions in the comments, and please anything with pictures and bigger words if possible
Why is that?
to help you.
You like your books, like you like your menus with photos.
Do you want it in a different language too? Or? I got a pink suit for our, if I ever get invited to this podcast again, I'll bring it.
The pink suit?
Yeah.
I'll get you on with Jeffrey Bowen. When do you want to do it? Jeff, wear your pink suit.
Next week.
Okay.
Sure.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. I just want to pop on camera a lot better.
Yeah, you pop.
This wasn't light enough, so something lighter.
I think that's good. I like that blue.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're just missing the American flag pin.
Oh, that's true. Good point. Didn't think about it.
Right there where that little button thing is. You
Yeah.
put it right there. That way you don't hurt your beautiful fabric.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Is that tailored?
Yeah. Tailored by Macy's.
Nice.
Stock item.
Looks great. You look great.
Thanks. Yeah, you look great too.
Have you been working out? You look good.
Yeah, I have.
I noticed.
Yeah,
What's your like routine like?
Eating clean.
Talk about it. You cooking more? Or?
No, it's not that I cook more, but it's the family conversation. It's a family team dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
What are you eating more of that you're eating
Lean
less of?
meat, just veggies and all the stuff that you're supposed to be eating that we generally don't eat.
What were you eating before?
Anything that was on my
JJ's.
plate.
Oh,
Yeah. So JJ's was certainly part of it. Yeah. So I'm just more.
I think my problem is I eat like good food, but my portion size is too big.
Yeah. Portions.
Oh, no,
It's
I
like,
don't-
this was like not bad for you, except
Right.
you just ate 1,200 calories
Right.
sitting
Oh,
3
yeah.
times a day.
I eat like I'm a runt. Like I'm never gonna have food again. So it comes in front of me, and Caleb's like, "You're done already," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
It goes fast.
I use small plates now. So that.
So you don't have to like fill your plate with food. You fill the small plate.
And even if
Start
you
using
do,
the
it's-
salad plate.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to
that's smart.
Adelino's Tapas. Yes.
I think one of the things I've thought about doing is like portioning it and then like automatically putting half of it like in like a Tupperware or whatever and storing half. And it's like, okay, I'm only eating half of what
Right.
I'm always going to be hungry. But
And I think the time you eat too makes a huge difference.
yeah, you don't want to eat super late. I think like the rule
And I
is like,
I used to work late and eat late. And it just was bad.
yeah.
Yeah. How do you balance like life and work a bit more now?
Oh yeah, I mean, thanks to Viney and some of the folks that are helping me now. I
Yeah.
have more time to.
Yeah, it seems like you have a much better, or just like more, like not
breaking through a
necessarily better
ceiling.
team, but like they're more like I imagine they're probably more structured.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you did a lot of training
Absolutely.
to like, okay, here are the things I don't want to do. Here are the things I can have you doing.
Right.
You have a new website
Delegate.
Yeah, exactly.
with a
it's
boat
right-
on it.
It's right in the back.
With a boat.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with starting with a boat like that? No. Okay.
Let's keep it under 20 grand, okay?
Oh. Okay.
Looks like we're going used, but
We're going. So what's free on Facebook?
Maybe 20 each. That would be a nice boat. 60 grand.
I mean, I think you find the right deal, and it's a benefit to the partners,
Right.
and the investors and it becomes a write off, and you make it a perk, but you build it in.
you know what we could just do instead is we could just join the Freedom Boat Club.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. We lived.
No, thank you.
That was on purpose.
I like ownership.
Yeah, I get it.
Something about
I get
saying
it.
like
something about
yours.
yeah.
I want to be able to just go in at 3 o'clock in the morning and not
Right.
have to
Yeah.
go check in somewhere and just sleep in that boat if I want to.
You've sold over 650 homes.
Yeah, that's probably a much higher number now.
Wow. Wow.
How many transactions? How many closings you do in a month?
Oh, I
Like just guessing.
don't.
Rough.
I mean, some months are greater than others, of
Yeah,
course.
sure. Like
Give us an average. Stop being humble.
A few.
10,
No,
20,
no.
5.
I mean, some months there's 5 or more. And
Yeah.
Some months you might not close any. So
We'll put the full list of all transactions.
We could just go to
it's a
public
circle
record.
of business.
Or I don't know.
You mean MLS?
Yeah.
Yeah, my number is hidden, so you won't be able to pull it up.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
You've always crushed volume. You're a good marketer.
Yeah.
You're a very good marketer.
Appreciate it.
You have good personal, like you have like a person. Some people have to really work to build their personal brand.
Right.
You kind of have like a personal brand aura, you know?
Thank you. Yeah.
You stay really concentrated in one market.
course.
Like there's a lot of strategic things that you do probably without necessarily meaning to.
Right.
that
I think
aid in
speaking
that,
5
but
languages helps.
Oh,
That
yeah,
does.
Right. Thanks.
Well, you had a lot of Cape Verdean buyers.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
crushed
Thank
Cape Verdean
God.
buyers.
Thank God for my community.
Because
Cape Verdeans are not. So
Brockton, I think, has the highest concentration of Cape Verdeans outside of Cape Verde here. Right?
I think Boston still does.
Does
I think
it?
Boston still has more than.
Is it a per
than
capita
Brockton.
thing? Because I remember Brockton was winning. At least back in the day.
I mean, you could be right now, but I've always known that Boston had more, but they're coming to Brockton now because
Yeah.
they can't buy in Boston.
Everything's so expensive. I mean, if you have 3 families for $1 million in Brockton.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Boston folks moving here.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I should thank them, but
Yeah, usually people are like, stop moving to my neighborhood.
I know.
Shots fired.
I know. But even when I go deeper south, I ask, hey, where do you get your buyers from?
What you doing down in South Carolina?
No, not deeper south. That's south. I'm talking about
Like Fall
southeastern
River.
Mass. They'll say, it's people from Boston area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in Foxborough, even in Dighton, places that I go sometimes for open house or bringing a client. Like, hey, where do you get your clients from? They're like, Boston area.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, if you think about it, like an average condo in Boston, you're talking 600 plus,
Yep.
right? And that's not downtown Boston, right?
Right. That's still a
like
tertiary emerging
neighborhoods.
market.
Yeah.
Right,
like
exactly.
800 to maybe 1,200 square feet.
Right.
And
Not a lot of
if you-
space.
right.
It is if it's well laid out.
And you,
Sure.
Right. And you can get a nice.
And if the developer did a good job.
right.
Yeah. I guess
know-
I'm just like now living like in the country with
Yeah,
like,
totally.
amongst the horses. I'm like, I would have, that price for that? No, thanks.
Yeah, I totally get it. There's energy about being in the city.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's so much.
It's the coffee, right? Coffee everywhere. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, yeah, and just everyone you have to hustle to
Right.
be in the city.
Everybody's on the move,
So
right?
everybody's on the move. Everyone's got a passion. Everyone's got a project. Because like you just can't be. It's hard to be like a lazy person and live in a really high end like
Totally.
city.
Yeah, you'll get.
You got to crush.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta crush.
get like Yeah, you get squeezed.
You get squeezed out.
You'll be able to afford it anyways. Think about it.
It's brutal. It's gotten so expensive.
What's a 1-bedroom in Back Bay or Seaport?
Right? 3-4 grand.
Yeah, ish. I don't know.
We're gonna have to go to another commercial break in a minute.
You want me to pull that shit up?
Let's
How
go.
much is a 1-bed? And
Oh yeah, I would pull up Seaport, which is where I would love when I move back. Remember we talked about
I thought
it's gonna happen.
I thought Brookline was like your place that you'd like to move to.
You know, I think
Change your mind?
No, I mean I've always loved Seaport because I always wanted to live in a high rise with amenities.
Okay.
I've always, my thing on my Instagram says "Take me to the top floor, sir." Yeah, I've always wanted to live in a tall building.
I looked at a condo in Intercontinental Hotel recently in Boston.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It was the 19th floor, and you had view of the water. And it's in good shape, but it feels a little bit outdated, but
Sure.
you could move right in. Because the building was built in 2006, so a little bit over 20 years.
Right.
1.9 million. 2-bedroom, 2-bath and a half. It's really nice. And it was over 1,500 square feet, so it felt spacious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Real estate ruins you in a couple ways because now you're no longer. Oh, let's go. Should we go to a commercial break?
Yeah, sure.
All right, commercial break in 3, 2, 1.
also sponsoring this episode, passive aggressive alarm clock. Instead of blaring an annoying sound, this alarm clock gently insults you until you get up. Oh, still in bed? Must be nice. I guess some of us don't have goals. Wake up motivated or emotionally wounded. Passive aggressive alarm clock. Thank you for sponsoring this. Get 20% off with promo code WREI TV 20.
So that's awesome. So yeah, real estate kills you because now you're no longer excited about a normal kitchen.
Right.
Like before you were in real estate, you could walk into a normal kitchen that was like pretty nice by anybody's standards. And you're just like, oh, I've seen this 1,000 times. Yeah. And it's brutal because now you have to go to some weird, ridiculous level of execution to where you're like, oh, that's unique. And I'm actually want to pay attention to this kitchen now. It's brutal. Yeah. And then also just working in this expensive market, you're like, oh, that doesn't sound that bad. $2 million for 1,500 square feet on the 19th floor.
I know.
You're like, it's still a lot of money. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
It's not in the budget, but.
Oh no, I just went window shopping.
Yeah, no, it's in the budget for you.
No, 100%, stop it.
100%.
By the way, 1-bed, 1-bath condo for rent in the Seaport, a loft condo, 3,100, 537 square feet. So if you can imagine one of those like big loft condos.
Right.
Another one in the South End, 1-bed, 1-bath, 700 square feet, 3,300. Wow. So it varies a lot.
At least $3,000, right?
We talked about
at least $3,000 for a 1-bed.
We did.
We talked about being roomies, and then you could have one on the beds where you on the bottom it pulls out, so you have that spare mattress.
So we got 300 square feet condo for us.
Yeah, but remember we talked
your
about
head stays inside, your foot is outside the window.
It was going to be at the foot of the bed. It would pull out.
Oh, like a day bed.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have a condo in Boston.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
I've been thinking about it for years. One day.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I hope one day the market does something where the price stabilizes and maybe it'd be nice. But for now, it's just window shopping.
Or you just have to make enough money to beat the market.
Yeah.
You gotta, I feel like if you look at those types of buildings or apartments as investments, you have to be looking at it with a different angle of attack. Like you need to be thinking about principal preservation, only. You're not worried about turning this into, 2 into 3. That might happen on its own, as luxury real estate has seemed to do. But at the same time, you're like, listen, no, I know I'm in the hottest market.
Right.
And it's not gonna, we're not gonna lose
the chance of appreciating is.
Yeah. And the chance of it really substantially dropping.
Right.
I don't know when we can't even keep up with the demand. I think it has a better chance of
dropping than actually going higher right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
People definitely just stop moving.
There's easier
stop moving around.
If history changes, if history continues to teach us anything, there's got to be a peak somewhere.
Yeah, there's definitely easier ways, lower leverage, less, exposure markets if you want to just invest in real estate. That should really be like a a cherry on the top of your success. I don't know. What do you think is what's going to happen for you this year?
Not sure. I mean, we started out great. I mean, I think I got over 12 listings in the first month and a half of the year, which the first 2 months has always been high for me, but this year it's a little bit different, in a good way. There's a lot in the pipeline, and things are moving quickly, and I think it's going to be another great year.
How are you getting all of your business?
I mean, I'm tall, handsome, and people just love me. Just kidding. I'm sorry.
And skinny.
It's just consistency and doing the right thing when you get to help one person, and word of mouth is just powerful.
Is that what you'd say most of your business comes now through word of mouth?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah. As long as I keep my phone on and I continue the consistency and the service level, I think I'll be fine.
So what would you say for a new real estate agent that was just trying to get into the market, because it's very saturated and it's hard to stand out?
Right.
Like, what's a tip or trick that you recommend to somebody getting into it?
Be the most annoying person in the room. You can't just get a business card and a shiny car and think that people will just call you. Stay front and center.
Stay front and center and annoy them.
Yeah.
So, and how would you how do they annoy them?
Decision makers. Stay in front of decision makers and tell them every single day what you can do for them, and deliver on that promise. And train and learn as much as you can. Yeah. And really find the best local broker and be with that guy 24/7 if you can.
Call them till they buy or die.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right, Jordan.
Actually, I heard that again on. I saw a little Ryan Serhant clip, and they were talking about that there too. Yeah. And then in the clip, she was like, "But he died." And he goes, "Call the kids."
Jeez.
Yeah.
It didn't come across as harsh. Well, I mean, like, I wasn't trying to make that harsh, but it didn't come across in a harsh way. It was like kind of, in like a joking way.
Are you doing commercial stuff, or is it all residential?
I've done a few commercial, but we were talking about this earlier. Mostly residential.
In your average transaction, like, there's a lot of moving parts in a real estate transaction. You kind of have like your client facing part, you have your paperwork, you have your, connecting your different parties, your attorneys and your loan officers, and making sure that like your client has the right people to work with. There's the other side of the transaction and navigating things that they may throw at you. So like in your average transaction now, what's your main role, and what are some of the things that you're delegating a lot of that maybe you weren't in the past?
I mean, listen, I kind of have my hand on everything, but Vanya has been extremely instrumental with my open houses, ordering professional photos. Emil is kind of the operations manager, so he makes sure that she does everything that she's supposed to be doing, and installing the signs and getting the properties ready for the market. And I try to just build that new relationship with the next person, but at the same time making sure that all that needs to be done are done on time and on target.
Do you have a or one of those two doing like transaction coordination?
Right. Yeah. Vanya is the transaction coordinator for sure. Yeah. Cool. But she does a lot more than that.
Yeah.
She still handles open houses, scheduling them, ordering photos, and doing a lot of the stuff that I don't have to do.
I think transaction coordination could be a really great virtual business, and possibly like some AI integration there.
Right. And speaking of languages, Vanya speaks better Spanish than I do. She speaks better Portuguese than I do.
She's absolutely more talented than you.
She's more talented than I am.
I agree.
She speaks better English than I do, and better Cape Verdean Creole. So she, yeah. And she's smarter than me in so many levels. And clients love her. I mean, I get compliments from her all the time, and I'm like, thank God.
I think I can agree with that on pretty much everything you said.
Thank you. And Emil is also incredible. I mean, the guy is such a good person. It's funny because when they referred Emil to me, I didn't have time to meet with him. So I told them, I'm going to have a presentation. Why don't you come and we'll meet there? And it's been a great relationship for about 7 years now.
And they're licensed too, right?
They're both licensed, and Emil is actually an associate broker now of the organization.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask, like, you structured them with salaries, or are they like sort of co-broking everything?
We're not going to get into that.
That's all right.
That's not your business.
I'm always just curious of the logistics.
hit the road.
Of, like,
they're
Jack.
well taken care of.
yeah, the logistics of like business setup. Like,
I give them free food.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'd work here
This
for
is
free.
yours?
That's yours.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Wow.
yours.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they. I gave them free breakfast. Yeah.
The funniest thing about Adelino is he's one of the most immature people, and he is so much fun when there's no cameras on, but he is so well behaved right now.
I think that's how everyone should be, right? If the camera's rolling, you gotta measure every word that comes out, right?
I think you should measure every word that comes out, whether the camera's on or not.
Yeah,
Primo.
true. That's very true.
Oh, I take the opposite approach.
Yeah. He's like, someone give me a mic.
Free flow everything, and I'm like,
You know what
I need rules. If you're gonna put rules in place, give them to me, because I'm just gonna let it rip. If not,
Listen, successful people are fun most of the time.
Listen, it took you an hour to call me Primo.
But I called you Primo in text today.
Oh, did you?
and like when you walked in,
And when I walked in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, on camera.
That means cousin. You're my cousin. You're family.
You've learned 2 words
Like
in Creole.
cuz.
How you doing and Primo. Oh, no, you also say with the Pia Criollo, so that's another one.
Yeah, it's my party trick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never met a Cape Verdean I didn't love.
Yeah.
They're all they're all great.
You always say that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Thanks for the
You've always made that statement.
thank you for the
loud and clear.
verification.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, they're just warm, fun people. Like, remember when we used to go out to the bars around here, and
Right.
I would like, let's go to the Cape Verdean bar, and we would dance. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Drink. Have some finger food.
Remember when I came to the holiday party dressed as Santa,
I did. Yeah. Yeah.
and those kids came up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want to take photos with you.
and I did the whole bit.
You know, I
just
hate-
pretended to be
you know,
Santa.
I hated you that day because you stole the shot, and I was the host of the party, and nobody saw me. Like,
is that the one at your house?
No, that
No.
was actually at a.
Cape Verdean spot.
Oh, at the restaurant,
right.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember I went to like 2 or 3. Sorry, I haven't been in a while.
He's
we
gonna
ha-
invite us to the next party. Watch.
I get the invites.
Good. That's
gets,
good.
You don't.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
still
fair.
I'm still an
That's
agent.
fair.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I left, and I never ended up doing anything anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm coming back.
You know, people do make mistakes.
Well, so what would you want to? Well, here's the thing. I mean, like, you're a Brockton. You're the king of Brockton. So if
stop saying that.
if I hang my license at Vicente Realty, what does that do for Holyoke? Like,
We have a board of directors here at Vicente Realty, and we have decided.
I used to be on the board. Remember?
Well, we have a better board.
You have a
now.
real board
We have
now.
a better board now.
You have a real. These are
We've
tables.
decided that you're on the blacklist. So
Why is it got to be the blacklist? Why is it not the charcoal gray list?
it's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know the intensity of how black that list is, but you're in it. So
Let that
we'll
sizzle.
put you through the ringer to apply and become an agent here again.
No, I don't need to do that.
Yeah. You know the board chairman.
Oh yeah, I've been texting.
Chairman of the board.
I've been texting all of them.
Nice.
We're getting ready to do a takeover.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're gonna put. Yeah. So is that possible? Could somebody get their name on the wall?
Well, as long as they're not you, sure.
I'm going through the ringer right now.
absolutely.
I'm looking at Harrison for.
Is this like an attorney? Is this like a law firm? Where you sort of, it's like the same business, but then like every like 5 or so years is like a new name added or subtracted.
Honestly, I think it's a great model, and everybody who gets on the wall brings a substantial amount of business to the firm. I mean, I don't
also
hate
have to
it.
pay half the amount of money to be a partner in law firms.
I think
that's how
that-
they're structured.
I think it's a good idea.
I learned that from Suits. So
I think
Yeah,
you should, I think you should
job.
become a broker and open Vicente. What is it? What's your section of the town? I mean, not the section of the town, but
Where do I live?
is it north? Is it north of Boston?
No, it's West.
West, yes.
Yeah, Vicente West.
Vicente Realty West.
Welcome to Vicente West.
Yeah.
Buta papio. No.
Buta papio criollo.
And the answer's no.
There's no Creole in
no. You have
Western
to
Mass.
Spanish, pretty much.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm sure there is one or two, but not enough to make a difference.
Yeah,
I actually got a call yesterday for a tenant application, like a little off topic, but I asked for his name, and it was like, he wasn't speaking with like a heavy accent or anything, but then I was like, wait, what's your last name? And I forget what it was, but he spelled it, and he was like, I'm Polish. And I was like, wow. Like, it was like a, Polish spelling last name. And Holyoke used to, and maybe still does, has like a Polish community.
It does.
But we hadn't gotten an applicant.
It does. It has
identifying that way ever.
Yeah. Holyoke had a heavy Irish, heavy Polish, had French. It was a melting pot, but it's cool because there's still a lot of Eastern European descendancy out there. So like you'll go to Target and hear people speaking like in Russian.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And there's a Polish like deli bar just around the corner down on High Street. Yeah. And at the end of High Street where those big apartment buildings are, those are all Polish.
Oh.
Yep.
Cool.
There's a Polish war memorial, Polish flag.
Yeah. I've seen some of them, like it just doesn't stick.
Yep.
But I remember vaguely.
Interesting. Good, man. Good.
Ox fits right in.
Are they ever going to change the name? I mean, are they planning on changing the name of the town to you guys' name, or?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I wrote a letter, but
yeah,
they were like, "You're not important enough."
Yeah,
which is like fine.
Yeah,
I understand. Give it time.
Some doors close and some doors open.
No, I like it. It's Holyoke. Hollywood, Holy Hollywood Oak. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll make it. Holyoke's going to pop.
Yeah,
it will pop. The reason it will pop is because it was once a much larger community. City, it was 80,000 people.
Right.
So they have a lot of big infrastructure.
Right.
Minus all this weird green energy policy stuff that we don't have to talk about on this episode.
Right.
But all of these big buildings, all of this cool infrastructure. We have lots of, there's 66 approximate 1,000 college students between Hampden and Hampshire County right there. Lots of medical, right. Lots of colleges. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because there's not as much to do out there as there is out here.
Right.
And you have so many college students without as much stuff to do. And Holyoke feels like it could be the Western Mass version of like Alston outside of Brighton.
Right.
It feels like it could be that. So it'd be cool. Are you
going to do anything to bring stuff to do down there?
We've got a great like 10-year plan, but we need a billionaire. If we got any billionaires watching this that want to partner, we've got some really cool ideas.
Nice.
Yeah. We got some really cool ideas.
Yeah.
Definitely need to drive some additional industry. Industry, jobs, residents, keeping college students there.
Right.
Some fun thing. Like these things will kind of happen in tandem.
Yeah.
But someone's got to drive this, like the spear through the barrier.
I think you could. I think your industry, it could become tourism, like that. If you build it, they will come.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Mentality,
a lot of these businesses just need strong operation and marketing execution platforms to get the word out. And there's so much inventory and availability to build cool stuff out there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that show up to event. We went to an air show and around not too far away, and there was 1 million people there that weekend. Wow. And it's like, okay, they're coming out, they're spending money, they're doing things, but there's just not enough stuff to do.
Yeah, you need to continue to build reasons for them to stay longer.
Yeah.
Don't just stay for the air show, stay for the weekend.
Right.
Don't just come for, the one, like when the volleyball Hall of Fame is done. Don't just come for the one volleyball tournament, come for the week.
Holyoke used to have a ski resort, like a mountain with skiing on it.
Mm-hmm.
Small, but Holyoke had skiing. It's and an amusement park. And it's sad they lost that, I think in the 80s.
No, there's Six Flags. It's right down the road.
Yeah, but you had skiing in Holyoke.
Right.
You can
Tom.
still,
Yeah.
you can still see all of the ski lift poles and stuff. They're still built in.
When did that close?
I don't know. It sold in the 80s. The Brennan's is a bar. Shout out on High Street. Don't yawn during this
I know, I'm
podcast. That's
sorry.
rude.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
And they have some of the original stuff from but more about Adelino.
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the 60,000+ students that are in that area, are they commuting? Are they from Holyoke? Like, what's the population there like?
I think a lot of them come from, the majority of your Massachusetts population is east of Worcester.
Okay.
So they're going from there. I mean, UMass is the biggest, but there's a lot of the colleges are small.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, 5,000 students here, 10,000 students there.
A lot of commuting.
A lot of commuting.
Okay.
But a lot of people on campus too.
Yep.
That are living on campus. But I'm not super plugged into the college scene, so I'm
I see.
kind of speaking out of like gut feeling.
Right.
But yeah, there's certainly nothing like when you look at Holyoke downtown, there's not a lot that's going to attract them into there.
To stay. I mean, there's not even like Springfield's redeveloping and building, but there's not a tremendous amount. It's way better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Like Northampton, but that's kind of a niche market. East Hampton's coming up, but that's still small by comparison. Holyoke has a lot of infrastructure.
Yeah, it's
like
actually,
it could be a big,
it's got city grid, it's got canal system.
It's half the size it used to be.
Yeah, it's accessible. Like a couple of different highways are running through it.
Right. It's the crossroads of New England. You have how many million people? 50 million?
It's a lot, like around 40.
Yeah. You have like 40, 50 million people crossing between north and south and east and west, and they literally cross through Holyoke. And there's some billboards, but it's really interesting. There's no billboards that are drawing people to Holyoke, because billboards are just big lawn signs.
Right.
There's billboards for Six Flags and signs for Six Flags.
Chick-fil-A.
There's Chick-fil-A in Chicopee, but there's not.
Yeah.
There's room for more billboard placement. That's a business.
Right.
And you put a cool restaurant, you put a cool venue, you put a cool event, and you advertise, and now you have 50 million people
Right.
passing your signs.
Right.
And that's not small.
Right.
But I feel like that's substantially slept on by people in Massachusetts. And I've noticed that and for reason that Holyoke was rich in its heyday in textiles and all that stuff, and they lost it.
Right.
So like a lot of other communities, they backslid because they lost their jobs. So it changed, but now it's going through like a rebirth.
Right.
Lowell, Brockton was a mill city.
Yeah.
They made, they went through a boom. Lowell went through a boom. Lawrence is going up.
Right.
Lynn, the city of sin.
Fall River, New Bedford.
Yep.
Yeah.
All these areas.
Train are going to Fall River, New Bedford now.
Yep. We have the problem is it doesn't run enough, but we have a train station downtown, Holyoke, that you can literally get in and that will take you to Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
You can be in Manhattan for like $50 in 4 hours,
Wow.
which is how long it would take you to drive to Manhattan from here.
Right.
And you're just dropped off.
How often does it run?
It goes like once a day. That's the problem. There's more activity in Springfield,
Okay.
but the infrastructure's there.
Right.
Did you know Holyoke has dinosaur footprints?
Yep. Holyoke actually has a dinosaur named after it, or a dinosaur is named after Holyoke.
Oh,
Yeah, there's like a Holyokesaurus. It's a real thing.
Nice.
Google it.
put that in the kids' dinosaur books.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I think I'm gonna write children's business books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, The Adventures of Wally and Joe. Yep, I have an English version and a Spanish version. My cat's named Wally,
Oh.
named after the company.
Who's Joe?
Joe is
The other
the
cat.
character, but in Spanish or with a Colombian accent, that's me. Adventures of Wally and Joe.
Yeah.
Wally E. Joe.
Yeah, gotcha.
Cute, right? It's double
Very
entendre.
nice. Very nice.
Do we have one more sponsor for the episode?
We do have one more sponsor for today's episode, Background Noises Plus, premium sounds for awkward silences. Ever have an awkward pause in a conversation? Just press play on Background Noises Plus and enjoy high-quality sounds like someone clearing their throat, random office chatter, and mysterious distant laughter. Perfect for Zoom calls, bad dates, and family gatherings. Background Noises Plus. Get 20% off today with promo code WREI-TV20 at backgroundnoisesplus.com.
Is there any scenario where you get more than 20% off? Because everything has been 20% off.
No, I'm just I'm just regurgitating ads I hear in podcasts, and it's normally 20% off or 10% or.
If we that was so funny. The cough. I don't know. If we do an affiliate thing through something, maybe we'll do 25% with you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
It's
good,
like a bad lip read.
Yeah.
That's like, there's 3 of us here.
Right.
Right? You're the 4th for the affiliate. You're our partner.
Right.
You've always been a partner in my heart.
Wow. Thank you.
So we're not going to take up too much more of your time because,
Thank you. Appreciate that.
we've got things to do.
That's right.
Other important.
By we mean Adelino.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, but I think let's ask a couple questions because you do mostly real estate, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's your main thing.
Full-time real estate broker, Mass and Rhode Island.
Cool. So if someone was listening to this and they were like, I'm interested in trying to, I rent and I'm thinking about home ownership, or I want to maybe take the next step. Like,
Sure.
Can you kind of like walk us through from the very beginning? What does that process look like, and how can you help throughout each stage?
Sure. So someone can buy cash, right? If they have the money, they can buy cash and I can help them. But most of the time, someone would call me and say, hey, I'd like to start the process of buying a home. Generally, they would be working. They'll have fair credit, or better than fair credit, of course. And they'll have some down payment. And they've obviously thought about it as to what they would be buying, whether it's a single family condo or a multi. And I would say a good 30 to 40% of the time, they already have a pre-approval in place. But vast majority of the time, they do not have a pre-approval. And I usually would tell them, listen, you could go to your bank or you can go to whomever you'd like to obtain one, or I could connect you with a loan officer or two to just have a conversation with and see where you are financially and how we could make this possible.
So what's the pre-approval? That's like, that tells you how much money you can spend?
Yep. It gives you your buying power. It could tell you if you're ready to buy or not, or how much and where. Because obviously every town is different, tax-wise and insurance and all that stuff.
So can somebody write an offer without a pre-approval?
They can. That offer will most likely not get accepted because pre-approval is a golden ticket. It's a very important part of the process, which shows the agent on the other side and the seller that you are serious and you've taken the step to become pre-qualified by a lender or a bank, that if the offer is accepted, you have a great chance of going from start to finish and actually close on that transaction. So it's a very important part of the process.
Ooh, James, you owe me a Saratoga sparkling water.
You get the next ad read.
Okay.
What are, just to sort of add to your point there about, having that pre-approval is crucial in being being a strong offer. What are some other elements of a strong offer, or things that you try to craft to make sure that your client's offer gets accepted?
Well, I don't want to teach other agents that are not affiliated with Vicente Realty how to do their job. But I mean, I think hiring the right agent to convey the message to the other side of the transaction of why the offer is strong and why the offer should be accepted is something that's critically important. A lot of times I do mostly listing. I get offers that it just gets emailed to me. I think an average person nowadays just do everything through text and emails. And I think picking up that phone call and understanding what the pain points are for the seller and what's important to them is very important to a buyer. So I think hiring the right broker with the right set of experience and right set of connections is very, very important. I think a lot of my transactions and a lot of my offers gets accepted because of who I am and the respect that I have in the industry. And it's a lot easier when the other side understands that my goal is to obviously keep the wheels moving forward, and I'm only going to work with well-qualified buyers and people that are serious, and obviously the terms and the conditions of the offer and the presentation of it, and All of that plays into it.
Yeah, I was actually you answered one of my, I guess, follow-up questions, which was, do you think that like your name being attached to an offer?
Yeah, I mean, I think if someone knows who I am, it's usually a good thing.
Yeah.
Because they know that I take this job or this profession very seriously, and if I'm going to go out and help somebody buy a home, I'm going to make sure they're well qualified and well vetted, and they understand the process clearly. And if they're going to sign an offer and we're going to submit it, they understand what they're doing, right?
Right, because if you're working with unqualified buyers,
yeah,
then it's going to look bad on you.
Yeah, it looks bad. It's never fun. I mean, the sellers, everybody involved, it's never a good thing.
Right,
and it's always your fault.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm the weakest link, right?
If that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
100%. So I have a two-parter for you.
Okay.
All right. So how long have you been doing this business, and why do you do it?
I do it for the free breakfast that I get all the time. So I've been doing this for 15 years, since 2009. So I started the brokerage in 2011, and we've had great success. I mean, every year has been better than the year before. We have over 35 agents affiliated with Vicente Realty now, and we've helped tons of people buy and sell homes. Yeah.
What's
your
your
website's correct? It's over 600.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is well over 600 properties.
It was up there. It's not there anymore.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's on another page.
We have a different page now. Yeah.
What's your favorite part of this business?
I think my favorite part of the business is to accomplish a goal for someone. When somebody comes in and we have a plan in place, right? And we can get it done on time, on target, and when we find everything they're looking for, close to everything, that brings tons of satisfaction. I remember once I was helping this guy in Quincy sell to buy, and he kept sending me like all these properties to go look at and everything else. And his property was under agreement within a weekend, over asking price. And the following weekend, we went shop for a home. And all the listing he had sent to me, I called them, we went over everything one by one. I said, listen, I can show you all of them, or I can tell you why I shouldn't be sending you A, B, C, and D. And the reasons why I'm not showing them to you, because these are not the properties you've described to me. Between you and your wife, these are not the property, but I have the right property for you. And when we got to this property in Randolph, we walked in from the outside. The property had the garage, the lot, the size, the style, the condition, everything he was looking for, AC, you name it, everything was there. He literally tried to carry me and tell me, he was like, how do you do this? I was like, I was just following your instructions. Like, this is what you wanted. And I searched it and I found it for you. Now if this is what you truly want, let's negotiate. And we negotiated lower than asking. And he still lives in the property today. And his son buys properties with me now, and everybody he knows. I mean, I did 3 transactions recently, one in Boston for $1.4 million, another one in Randolph, and one in Brockton. So 3 transactions just from his referrals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think that it also speaks to, when you're an experienced buyer's agent, you are able to understand your client, direct your client. Sure. As opposed to someone who's maybe a little less experienced, and they have a client, and the client wants to see 10 houses. So you're like, okay, I'll show you all 10, and I'll spend a lot of time driving you around.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes clients feel bad for you as an agent when you can't do your job, because they're like, my God, I feel bad. We've seen 20 properties, we've made several offers. So I think really narrowing down and understanding exactly what somebody's looking for really helps you as an agent and helps them the most. Because, I did not show this guy any other property. We saw one, he bought it, he owns it, and it's probably been a good 7 years later, and we have the greatest relationship. I mean, he's always sharing my stuff on Facebook, commenting, and sending everybody he can to me. Only simply because I did my job.
And you're handsome, and you're charming, and you buy lunch. I can't wait.
That's too funny.
So have you ever had a deal that it was hard to get it across the closing table?
There's always deals that is hard to get across the finish line.
Tell me about kind of like a war story and how you helped fix it.
Yeah. How does the agent get the deal across, like a tough deal across the finish line? Like, what's your role in it?
I think every deal is a team effort. I think every deal. I mean, I get a lot of credit, and obviously I love the credit, but it's not always just Adelino. It's the team you choose to team up with and partner with to get to the finish line, right? The right buyer and the right seller is very important, very critically important. Answer your phone call, respond to your emails, let's have a conversation if we have to, meetings, whatever, right? Sometimes there's problems in the transactions that an agent really can't do anything. If it's a title issue, you just have to make sure you have a very good attorney, right? I work with a few attorneys that I know over the last 15 years has never let me down. Right? They're very good at what they do. And if there's a problem, they're going to see it. They're going to have a solution. We're going to talk about it and discuss it. And before I even call my clients, we have a solution in place, whether there's a cost attached or timing, right? If there's an issue with insurance, nowadays, insurance are becoming very expensive. Sometimes you can have somebody that's well qualified, but then the insurance cost, you thought it was going to be $1,200 or $1,500 or $1,800. Now it's $3,000 or $4,000 a year. Right. So now I do things that I normally didn't used to do, which is look for insurance quotes for my clients. But now I do. Like I have 7-8 people that I'll send the property address, the condition, the link, the everything else. Says, hey, let's just quote this, And the price difference are just vast. It's so crazy,
For property insurance?
For property insurance. Yeah.
We've noticed, I think from COVID, there was a lot of sticker shock in insurance. A lot of us have seen 50 to 100% increases in insurance. It was just wild, and it can be a deal killer for a lot of people.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sometimes you have properties that might have a bad roof or something that a bank would say, hey, I need this done before closing, right? And having contractors in place that you trust that can get paid at the end or whatever, or where have you, is again, that team is super, super important. You can be the best agent on earth. If you don't have the right team around you, you can't do it all, because some things you're just not licensed to do. I'm not a licensed roofer, right? So team effort, having the right team is critically important. There's been situations where you'd get on the phone, right? You'd get on the phone with a loan officer, for instance. I'm not a loan officer. I don't claim to be one. I'm not trying to become one. But you've been part of a transaction for so long that sometimes you bring up program ideas. Hey, what about this program? What about, do you know what I mean? So sometimes even loan officers that's been doing this for a long time, you get on the phone with them, 2 brains are better than 1. I had a transaction recently where the person had to go to 3 different banks to be able to pull it off. And part of the reason is because the rents that was coming for this 3-family was low because the properties are not in a good condition. And so we end up finding a portfolio program that actually, because the rents were low, that's what they catered. That was helpful to the client because their total income was now lower. So they could qualify for this program. There was lower interest rate, the self-sufficiency of the property was no longer a factor, right? And we were able to close in a couple of weeks. And because the other side of the transaction, the listing agent knew who I was, respected my craft, he continued to give us more time until we can close this, which was probably one of the most important transactions of my life because this person was very important to me and my family. So 3 different banks. Most agents will not wait for you to go to 3 separate banks and 3 separate, pre-approvals and all that.
Most banks don't, a lot of agents don't even know 3 separate banks.
I know. And nobody's in the business to list a property and wait 90 days to close. Right. So, and I understand that. And nowadays, listen, with technology and everything else, everybody's hiding behind a text, behind an email. I'm not afraid of picking up a phone call. I'm not afraid of meeting someone. I'm not afraid of having hard conversation that will deliver results to my client. And an average person, I say this all the time. A child, I think you taught me this. I think a child gets toys and everything because they ask for it, and we stop asking when we become adults. I ask all day. I ask all the time. I get free lunch when I ask for one. I get free extensions when I need one. And I get people to say, you know what? Sure, I understand. Yeah, I'll give you more time. And this benefits my client greatly. And thank God, it doesn't happen all the time. Thank God I'm not in the business of asking for more time every single day, but sometimes you need to. Sometimes you need to, because the overall satisfaction there's a family. There's the whole human factor behind something that didn't work twice, and this is your last chance.
Right, you need to finish the race.
Yeah, you need to finish the race, and you need to really pull all your resources together.
Right.
Like I sent videos to my clients saying, listen, I'm here to paint the trim for you so we can pass this, because I know they don't have enough money. I know they don't own the property yet. I mean, whatever you got to do to make it work, you do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
legally.
only because you gave me credit for that.
But isn't it true though?
Yeah, totally. That was me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And sometimes when you ask and then you get the no on the first time, then you throw a hissy fit. And I've seen you cry, and that really works. People hate to see Adelino cry.
I don't remember ever crying, but I can come close to it.
Yeah, no, I remember.
I think you're right. I think an average person. I mean, listen, when eBay started, right? People were like, "This is crazy. How can you trust, right? The whole country to pour product that it's used, whatever, open box, whatever, to sell it? This would never work." And look at them now.
Right.
Multi-billion-dollar company, because of one principle. People are generally good.
Right.
So you're going to have some people who will say, you know what, if you don't close this Friday, this is done. You'll get your money back. We're going to move on. But because people are generally good, and if you are also a good person and you can ask kindly and respectfully, most of the time you'll be fine.
It's true.
Awesome.
People are generally good.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Amen. And I will give you a raving review here on this podcast, which I was not expecting to do. I remember, and I was literally talking about this on my last podcast with Michelle, who is a workhorse, and she's awesome. But we were talking about how the market has changed, and I remember it was a short sale that we got through door knocking.
Okay.
And it was a 3-family on the west side of Brockton.
Okay.
And I remember having to convince this woman to buy this property for $300,000 then. It was 3 bedrooms with lots of parking.
She's a millionaire now.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Can I get an endorsement from her? But I remember this was new in my career, and that we were struggling with the fire department.
Oh, I remember that.
Yes.
Wouldn't be the last time.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the last time. Fire departments, we don't need to go there. But I remember you coming in and helping and actually bringing an electrician because they threw up some roadblocks for me, and it was already a hard transaction to get across the table.
Right.
And you came with an electrician, and you did it, and it came in and got inspected and all that stuff, and it went very well, and thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, sir.
Adelino, my primo here, is one of our OG mentors in the business.
You're giving me way too much credit.
I agree, but we'll use it for soundbite purposes.
You were our age when we did our first deal together.
Yeah.
If my math is correct. If that was 9 years ago.
He looks really good for 62.
I know, you keep looking
62,
younger.
huh? I'm 65, but thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of fire inspection, the deputy chief of fire retired last month.
Well, we're already
Happy
gone.
retirement.
Happy retirement.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy retirement. Fire code is challenging everywhere now in the state. It's we've seen them combat the building departments.
Right.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
We don't need to go down there. So
there's a strategic way to give any city department, fire, building, whatever, board of health. There are strategic ways to give all of them what they want.
Yes.
And that's kind of the mindset you have to have. It's like, how can I strategically give them what they want? Because fighting them is useless.
Satisfy everybody.
Yes.
If you're going to do it. So.
Yes, sir. No problem, sir. Works all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, you cry, right? So,
does that work for us?
Or you
it works for Adelino only. So if someone wants to, or so we kind of talked about the home buyer process.
Right.
If someone's thinking about selling their home, what's that like? And, why should they consider working with you?
Well, I think selling, a lot of times people think that you can just offer a property up and there'll be 20 people buying it the next day. And that's not always the case. I think you have the same way you prepare to buy, you have to prepare to sell. Okay. I usually tell sellers, let's position your home for the most positive light possible. And sometimes that means declutter. Sometimes that means some exterior renovations. Don't do them unless you have a local agent who's an expert that can tell you that just because you think you should do X, Y, and Z doesn't mean you should. There's tons of people out there that will buy your home just the way it is, but sometimes you just have to get it ready. You have to get it show ready for professional photos, show ready to be easy accessible to people who wants to see them, and price it correctly. Okay? And really hire someone that has sold homes like yours, that does have a great market presence in that community, and the skill set for it. Because sometimes I look at properties and I'm like, my God, like this agent really hasn't done, not even, they're taking photos from inside of the car. You can see the rim of the door from the photo. It's like
I saw someone's finger in a photo yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
or there'll be like 2 photos in there.
Okay. For the record, you used to take iPhone photos only, and I was like, "How can you do this?" And you still sold them. So, okay, I appreciate your.
That was a long time ago.
It was. You were still doing pretty darn good back then too.
Yeah, of course. Listen, I think sometimes anybody could sell a home because a home sells itself. But if you really want a good experience, if you want an elite experience from start to finish, someone to communicate with you, someone to tell you exactly what to expect from start to finish. I remember when you were selling a condo in Boston, you had sent out the seller exactly what to expect from start to finish. Your marketing strategies, your photos, your this, your that. You were going to send emails out to everybody else. That was like, wow, this was great. And this was very early on when you were practicing real estate, when you were poor.
That was in Watertown.
Yeah, Watertown.
You know who you are.
Exactly. And that sold quickly and effectively.
Yep.
So yeah, now, listen, we over communicate with our clients. We do the best we can to deliver on our promises every time, Go ahead.
No, I think what you said about pricing it right is crucial, because at the end of the day, if it's worth $200 and you list it for $175, it'll still sell for $200, right? Because the market dictates
exactly. And you
value.
don't have to accept an offer. Even if one comes in at $175, you don't have to accept it.
You don't have to.
You could list at home for $1, right? Doesn't mean you'll sell it for $1.
Yep.
We've had situations where, that home would sell for $100,000 over, or 50 or 70. And we knew that was going to happen. But we wanted to attract more folks to come into the open house, and bid on it, Yeah. But my strategy is always to price it where it needs to be, and not play games. And I think that's a strategy that's been working effectively for a good 15 years.
Adelino, thank you for jumping on the WREI podcast.
Thank you.
Talk Radio. This was a lot of fun. Everybody, we appreciate you. We love you and support you. Thank you for checking this out. Please like, comment, subscribe. Smash the subscribe button for Mr. Vicente over here, the king of Brockton.
I'll stop.
And we're gonna have you on. We're gonna have to have you on Find That Flip soon, which we're live streaming. We're going through MLS.
Sure.
And we were in Brockton looking at deals yesterday.
Okay.
And you said some good things to reaffirm some things that we said. So I'm going to put you on there.
Good.
We're going to talk about some deals.
Yeah, absolutely. No
All right.
problem.
All right, everybody.
I'm here to serve.
All right. Cheers.
Thank you, everyone.